Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Right there. Hello, everybody. It is your baby boomer, Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. I am so happy to be here today. I am apologetic. Please accept my apology for being 2 minutes late. Oh my goodness. That's why I don't wear black tops. I just looked over at the TV and I look a hot mess. Okay. And if you're looking at this on replay, please forgive me. I'm going to tell you what all the little white stuff was on my shirt before we get into it. So last week, I looked like the Bride of Frankenstein. Nobody told me that it takes several hair washings to get all of this glue out of your head. So what you saw was glue specks. Because I do my hair every day. I comb and I brush it every day. But yeah. So, and it was washed last night. Last night was the fourth washing. So I guess I got a few more to go. So that's what that is. Again, welcome to Create and Relate. I am your baby boomer, Kitty Lane. I am so happy to see you all coming in the room. So tell everybody, phone calls, texts, tell them come on in the room. We got quite a lot to talk about today. First of all, the computer. Uh-uh. The printer is set up. I'll show you the pages so you can see that it's set up. And just before I came in the room, we got it synced to the phone. So the bingo cards will be printed out today. Along with that, I wanted to let you know all about the bingo. And you can talk about me and Michelle all you want to. Yes, we have notes. We have notes and notes and notes and more notes. Okay? But this is just to let you know all about the bingo. There are 52 bingo cards, and they will be sold at $5 per card. Each card has 16 spaces. And what you're to do is to complete the tasks that are in those spaces. You have a choice of two ways to receive your cards. Either I'll send you an email attachment and you can download it to your phone or print it out or however, or I can use snail mail on United States Postal Service. I just need you to email me your address. Once you receive your cards, I need you to confirm the receipt of your card and so that I will know who has their cards and what numbers they have. Payments of the card should be made through Cash App or PayPal. When you use PayPal, use the personal setting and not business. I will be posting my Cash App name and my email for the PayPal. The cards will remain on sale until they are sold out or until June 15th, whichever comes first. This is blackout bingo. So the card must be completely covered for your card to be entered into the drawing, which will be held on July 17th. All tasks on your cards must be completed by July 15th, midnight, Eastern Standard Time. I think that's 11 o'clock Central Time. You may check off no more than 3 boxes per completed item. For instance, if on your card you have the colors blue and gold, You have a task of doing a double crochet, and you have an item of a granny square, and you make a blue and gold double crochet granny square. You have to choose 3 of those 4 items to check off. Let's say you want to check off the colors because they're not 2 of your favorite colors. You can do that, and then you have to choose between double crochet or granny square. Okay. One task that is on each card is subscribe to one channel. And the reason that it's there is because this is my way of enhancing or growing our community. I think we're worth that. And an easy way to do it is every week I post a video star of the week. And if you're not subscribed to their channel, there you go. So it's kind of like the free space. Each completed item must be photographed and posted on my Facebook page, which is under Create and Relate. And on that one, it's the old spelling of CREATE. Also, send a pic to my email. That way, if Facebook is acting funny, you have a backup. Once your card is verified, your name will go in the drawing box. The drawing will be held on the 17th of July after my grandkids get home from school, which is approximately 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. So you're looking at around 3 p.m. The drawing will be held. Hi, Emily. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, if you have any problems or concerns, contact me as soon as possible. I am about to put my email address up. Okay. And like I said, just contact me via email. If you are one of the ones who has my phone number, you can call me or text me. If you need my phone number, email me and let me know. And then, of course, good luck to everybody and have fun, please. Now, the prize breakdown is as follows. If we sell up to 20 cards, and it has to be at least 5, so I said 6 to 20 cards, so there will be one winner, and it'll be a $25 Visa gift card. 21 to, I did that wrong, but I'm going to leave it because I'm not changing that anymore. But 21 to 35 cards sold will be 2 winners. And that'll be a $50 Visa gift card and a $25 Visa gift card. From the highest number mentioned prior to the remainder of the cards sold, there will be 3 winners. A $100 Visa gift card, a $50 Visa gift card, and a $25 Visa gift card. I will go over those again before the live ends so that we can see where we are. Oh, okay. So we've been playing with the printer this morning. And the only thing I'm trying to do is print out what I have, make a copy of what I have. It doesn't want to work. But at any rate, I wrote them out. So we have more notes. Oh, Michelle would be proud of me. So, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is resetting. I frequently say that we can start over in an eye blink, in a moment. It just takes the mindset to say, I want to do this again. I want to start out over. Granted, there are some things in life that we can't restart. We can't go back to being a baby and start that all over again. You're 20 years in your marriage, you can't go back to the very beginning and start over. But there are many things that we can, or we have the option of starting over. If we are crocheting something that we wanted to try to create in our mind, and we get 80% of the way through it and decide it just does not look right, we can frog it and start over. If you have a term paper and you've had 3 months to do this term paper and you're only 2 weeks in and you don't like where it's headed, many professors will allow you to even change your topic. You can start over. It's the same way in developing habits. There are some habits that we have that are good. There are some habits that we have that are not so good. And of course, there are those that are indifferent. They are just habits. For years, I always marvel on the fact that for years, I was a nail biter. I bit my nails up until 2009. And I mean, from the time that, even though they're not long, and they have been much longer, you can see the other videos, I hacked them off to the very beginning at the beginning of this month. So they're just, they're in the growing stage right now. So, I mean, and that's fine. It was my choice to do that. Here again, starting over. 2011, whacked all my hair off. I did it first in 2009, and then I did it again in 2011. Started over. And when I say I whacked off my hair, I had a nice little boy fade, like no hair down here, and just a small little patch to accentuate the wavy hair on the top. We can start over, y'all. We can. First thing in starting over is to define your goal. There's several ways that you can do that other than just saying, hey, I want to start over. I like to use the morning ritual, my morning ritual, as an example, because at one point in my life when I started over, that was my starting point. I wanted to use the start of, I wanted to change my life around because I was making a lot of bad decisions, especially in relationships. And I felt like I was presenting myself in the wrong way. Back during this time, I used to wear, or I used to try to wear makeup. And I wanted to get away from that. I wanted to go back to natural, just the natural skin. So I felt like the first thing for me to do in the morning was to cleanse my face. When I went to the bathroom and all that good stuff, I had to cleanse my face. And in order to make that a habit, I put sticky notes on my mirror in the bathroom. I mean, I always washed my face, or my interpretation of washing my face, because I don't use soap. I'm sorry. I think it dries your skin out and wrinkles, makes you privy to pre-wrinkling, pre-wrinkles, or whatever. 61. But I put a sticky note on my medicine cabinet mirror, cleanse face. And there was a cleanse that I was using. I believe it was the CeraVe. And I would just use that every morning. I would put it on my face, and then I would go about my daily routine until it became habit. Now, some people say you can develop a habit in 3 days. Some say 7 days, some say 2 weeks, some say 3 weeks. I think it takes until it's a part of you. That's just like people. It's individualized, just like people. Me putting that, I call it gunk. Me putting that gunk on my face every day took about 2 weeks for me to get used to doing that without, I mean, I'd go in there with sleepy eyes some mornings. And until I opened my eyes and saw that note, I was like, okay, gotta do this. But when it got to the point that I could walk in the bathroom, do all my other extras and then stand up at that sink and automatically reach for that jar. And, when it got to that point, I knew that it was habit then. Just like being a little girl when I would wake up in the morning, and I'd start biting the nails. It was habit. A few ways that we can develop habits or reminders. Like I said, sticky notes. That's an excellent way, unless you live with somebody who does not like sticky notes everywhere. You can develop charts and lists, like a chore chart that you make for the kids. You can do that and refer to it. You can write it on your calendar. You can get a journal or a notebook that you're looking in every day and documenting, did I do this? Did I do this? And when I had a journal at one point when I was changing something else in my life, my poetry actually. And I would put 10 pages out, write a poem, write a poem, write a poem, write a poem. So every morning I got up, I was writing a poem, a short poem, because I was notorious for the lengthy ones. And then, as always, and I'm sure you're all familiar with this, a vision board. Guys, the proudest moment I had in my life was probably 2015. I made a vision board. No. Yes, I made a vision board for 2 years out. I made it for 2017, and I came so close to accomplishing what was on that vision board. And I kind of got down because I didn't do everything on that board. So in 2018, I decided I was going to make another vision board for 2019. And everything on that vision board I accomplished. I did it again in 2019 for 2020. And again, I did everything that was on that vision board, including releasing my first novel. So, does it work? For me, it did. Not saying it will work for everybody, but it'll definitely give you something to strive for. Also, in setting goals, set dates, set end times. Like I wanted my facial thing to become a habit. I gave myself a month, but I was able to make it a habit in 2 weeks. But if I had had no end goal, I don't feel it would have motivated me to keep moving forward. Okay. Wanted to make sure I had no more comments. Okay. Create a routine. Let's say your goal is to eat a healthy breakfast every morning. Set yourself up the night before. If it's grapefruit and a boiled egg, unless you want a hot boiled egg, you can actually pre-boil your eggs. They have these little containers, and I got 2 packs of them. I was so gung-ho about losing weight, and I did it without the little packets. So I still got 2 packages if anybody wants them. But I would put my grapefruit in a bowl and cover it had the little plastic caps, I called it. And I would put a boiled egg in each one of those 4 containers. So for 4 days on the eggs, I was good. And the grapefruit, one, of course, when you cut it in half, one would stay wrapped up and the other one was just covered. But so I was at least 2 days out with each one. I had my grapefruit, I had my boiled egg. And setting myself up was the secret to doing that. So in the morning, I wasn't rushed to prepare these things. Um, whatever your goals are, make sure they're attainable. Don't give yourself, oh my God, I want to lose 50 pounds this month. It's almost impossible to do that in a healthy way. I mean, it not in a healthy way. Um, if you want to use vices or whatever, I can't co-sign on that, but make sure, if you say I want to lose 10 pounds this month, the average weight loss that they say is healthy is 1.5 to 2 pounds a week. So in a 4.5 week month, 10 pounds is possible. You can do that. Some people may lose more, especially when they're just starting out. That 10 pounds will drop off like nothing. And then you hit that plateau. Okay, so set yourself up for success. Utilize your support system. What is a support system? Those people who have your back, those people who will encourage you to keep going, those people who are there to say, hey, you know what you're doing this for. And they're there to keep you reminded of all of these things. That's your support system. I'm sorry, it's me and cameras, y'all. I get to yawning every time. But you can also be your support system. Make a video. Make a video of what you want your outcome to be. Be your own advocate. Give yourself those pep talks and look at that video. That could be part of your habit making. Every morning you roll over to get up, look at that video. When you tell yourself, girl, you got this. I know that you're stronger than you think you are. I know that you really don't even need me to motivate you because you got this. Also, in setting yourself up for success, like I said, sticky notes. I stand by sticky notes and sometimes pebbles. How are you, love? But sticky notes to me are the absolute best. If you are telling yourself that you don't want to eat certain things or you do want to eat certain things, and stick that sticky note on the refrigerator, telling myself that I want to go from 16 ounces of coffee to 10 ounces of coffee, put that sticky note on that Keurig. With me, I had a hard time transitioning from a standard toothbrush to the Oral-B rechargeable toothbrush. I'm very much, but just to have this thing that goes around by itself, all I got to do is keep it charged up. Oh, I had the hardest time. Sticky note, use your Oral-B. I'm going to tell you what else sticky notes are good for when I finish. Pair the new habits with existing ones. Okay, brushing the teeth. Switching from the toothbrush to the Oral-B but I didn't lose the fact that I still had to put toothpaste on it. I still had to gargle afterwards. You know, I didn't lose any of that. When the face regime that I went through, there was still the rinse process. And still twice a week, every week, I immersed my face in ice. You know, so there are a lot of things that you can add. Okay, for instance, um, learning to drink, learning to I'm having a focal day, so forgive me, but I'm gonna make it through this video. Learning to pair whatever I drink with water. If I drink 10 ounces of coffee, I have to drink 10 ounces of water. If I drink a Pepsi, I got to drink 20 ounces of water. Um, so learn to, when you are making decisions on changing things or developing these habits, make sure that they go along with the positive things that are already happening in your life. Uh, okay. Track your progress. So important. That is where the journal comes in. Because if you, especially with weight, I'm supposed to check my weight every day because of my heart condition. I'm teetering on congestive heart failure. So I constantly have to get on that scale. And if I get on that scale today and it says, ooh, I'm shooting real low, 100 pounds, and tomorrow it says 101, and the next day it says 100, the day after that it says 99, and then it goes back up to 101. But let's say 2 weeks out, I'm at 97. You know, and I'm beating myself up because, oh my God, the number of times I've gotten on the scale and it's only at 97, forgetting that I started at 100. I'm 3 pounds down at the end of this period. So instead of beating myself up, you know, and not taking into account that the body goes through changes. We go through changes. Our hormones go, everything just goes however it wants to go within us. And it's going to cause fluctuations. But here I am at this time, and I'm going to tell you one way you can develop that habit as well. I'm not squirreling, just stay with me. When I do my weight, I try to make sure it's at the same time every day under the same circumstances. This is before I've had coffee, before I've had water. I've gone to the bathroom, I've showered, I've brushed my teeth, I've done all of that good stuff. And I take my weight where there's nobody else around. So I'm naked, but I'm taking that weight every morning at the same time. So it's not like, oh, well, yesterday I had coffee, and that's probably why it was high, or I had already taken my meds, or, you know, same time every day, same situation. So try to keep that in mind too. Make it a habit. Make it a habit. But like I said, tracking your progress is so important because that lets you know what you need to tweak. Be consistent. If you have to force yourself to keep doing it and you know it's for the greater good, stick to it. Don't change up until you give yourself time, which segues into the next step, which is to be patient. Things are not going to happen in the blink of an eye, except the fact that you can start over. But don't start over until you've given it a chance. Me, I say anything that you're working with, working on, as far as setting habits, give yourself 6 weeks. Give yourself 6 weeks. That's giving you a month and a half. That's giving you plenty of time. And if it can't be done, then you have the option to start over or tweak whatever's there. Um, as far as listening to outside influences, once you make your decision, that this is what you want to do, make a plan. And once you make that plan, follow that plan. Don't let anything deviate from that plan or cause you to deviate from that plan, because you don't know if this is going to work for you until you give it a chance. Case in point, if it's weight loss that you're after, then once you get your plan, you're going to drink 8 glasses of water a day. You're going to incorporate more fruits and vegetables in your body, beef no more than twice a week, um, cutting out pork, um, so forth and so on. Stick to it for 6 weeks. Or if it's a part of your plan, when I first started the weight loss journey from before, my 6 weeks were broken up into weeks, but I kept each thing at a week. Only water to drink, no coffee, no milk, no juice, no tea, only water. The next time it was no candy, no snacks, no sweets. The third time was no chips. That's hard for me. I love chips. I love chips. The fourth week, it was no fried foods. That was when I lost my most weight. I knocked out 7 pounds that week just from not eating fried foods. I followed that with no eating out. Lost another 5 with that one. And I forgot what the last one was. I think it was actually taking the medication that the doctor gave me to lose weight, of which I lost a half pound that whole week. But I had it set out so that everything would work over the 6 weeks. I did follow them over that 6 weeks. So make that plan, stick to that plan. Don't let anything allow you to deviate from your plan, to make sure that you've given it plenty of time. Remember that you're human. You are human. So if something happens that you forget a day or you cheat on it, let's go to the crochet. So I had my days out. On Sundays, I was going to work on the Sprats blanket. On Monday, I was going to do my crochet along. On Tuesday, I was going to work on my son's blanket. On Wednesday, I had every day set up so of what I was going to work on for the week. And I was going to do that all the way through the month of June because I wanted to get rid of all these whips. Not going to start anything else. Well, yeah, that didn't work. I started on other items. I haven't even completed. I got a telephone holder, a wind spinner, not a market bag, a project bag. And I've even started on another project bag. I have not done week 3 of my cow, but I got the colors picked out. They're ready to go. So, like I said, remember that you're human and give yourself grace. Don't beat yourself up if you don't follow it to a T. You're human. Okay? And in that, remember that life happens. If you're on a road trip in the middle of this, you have no choice but to eat out. Or if your yarn runs out, you have no choice but to put that project aside and work on something else. You're human. Okay, the other thing is to make it fun. And by that I mean reward yourself when you make little, completions, development, get those habits made. With me, when I do something in crochet, then there's a little pebble cup that I'm emptying and starting over in June. But I get to put a bead in that cup and watch this cup grow. Every time I finish a project, just watch it grow. And right now, the size of it, it's way across the room. I can't get to it right now. But this is the size of it. This is the little coconut oil jar. But when you watch it grow, like right now, the one I have is like about midway. And I'm excited. I guess I didn't want my coffee, but I'm excited. Glad it's got a closed top. I'm excited to see what the next year is going to bring starting June 1st. I'm really excited about that. So give yourself rewards. Even if it's I accomplished this goal, I'm treating myself to a Starbucks coffee, or I'm treating myself to a slice of chocolate cake. Reward yourself. I'm getting my nails done. I'm gonna get my hair did. I'm gonna get me a mani pedi. Going to get a massage. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Okay, develop checkpoints. The reason you develop checkpoints is to number one, to determine your progress, and to number two, determine the validity of what you're doing, making sure that what you're doing is not hurting you, and that it's worth it, and that it is really a good habit that you're developing, and to hone your skills. Okay? And there we have it. Before I get into the fun stuff, I would like to thank all of my subscribers. You guys make my heart happy. You make my spirit happy. I checked it today. I was up to 387. And I'm like, woo! So excited. So I am happy that everybody on board is on board. I'm just praying that the numbers continue to grow. We got 113 to go to reach that 500, and I know it's coming. I absolutely know it's coming. I would like to remind everybody, please hit those thumbs when you come in. And even if you're watching the replay, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And when you see that notification bell, hit the one with the dimples so that you always know when I'm dropping fresh new content. Share my videos. Comment on my videos. I do read and respond to all comments, even if it's just a thumbs up or a heart. I don't have a problem with that. So you saw two of the projects that I'm working on. I've done nothing with my tank top, but I am excited about this. I did have an auction on Saturday and made two offline purchases after the auction. I love you, Pebbles. So this is what I did yesterday. Y'all know that I was here before. So I have the baby's name in. Her name is Axel. And I have her name in. And I'm getting ready to go back to the dark green. So I was able to I got 10 rows of this and these 15 rows done yesterday. I got 25 rows done. Yeah, the only thing that's attached is the purple. So, yeah. Now, for the good stuff, we're jumping back and forth. As far as habits are concerned, and it's amazing because I started doing the research on how I was going to present this last week. And when I got up today, I looked at Marty's video and I was like, oh my goodness, they seemed like they were right in line what I had to talk about in her video with each other. So if you have not seen Blossom Crochet's video, please jump over and watch the video. It's very informative. And I'm getting ready to kind of switch what I said over and piggyback off of hers so that you can see what I've done. Now, I'm not as mobile as she is, and I'm not able to do as much as I even want to do. Um, I get tired very easily. My heart just won't allow me to do a lot of things, hence why I'm disabled. So I had a really, really, really bad habit of going to bed every night surrounded by yarn, clothes, bedding, everything. As long as there was enough space on my bed to lay down and go to sleep, if I decided to lay down and go to sleep that night. Well, when I decided Sunday to start making a change, every night I had to take one more item off my bed. Now, a week prior, I started removing all the crochet. So every night, I don't know if you can see or notice, but back here, there were 3 boxes lined up all the way over to that pillow. So last night, the bigger box and another cup like thing that was sitting in front of this box all went over. Oh, but they all went over to their new home, their new temporary home. I can't show you my yarn wall without you seeing some things that I really don't want to show anybody. But I condensed my yarn because, as you know, my goal was to go through as much of my yarn stash as I had because I want to start fresh with Dollar Tree yarn. But I condensed all of my yarn. I'm seeing empty spaces. But what that's allowing me to do is all the yarn that I have in my plastic bins are going to go into a cloth bin and fill those spaces up until the point where I'm only working out of those cloth bins unless I have items that are sold and I need to make those items. But I'm really proud. I'm looking at like one whole empty space right now. And there are more that I can condense after I pulled the yarn for this. I pulled the yarn. I have the yarn here in the bag. And that's how I'll be working up this project bag. And once I complete that project bag and that yarn is gone, then when I do the next project, I'll pull it out, get everything together in that bag. As I complete projects, I go to one of the other whips. I've told myself if I start a new project, I'm going to try to see it through to the end, work on finishing it and getting one of my whips done. The reason it's so important for me to do this one is because, like I told you, I'm a paranormal buff. And Dalen Spratt does what's called um, spirit box sessions. And I had signed up for it when I first became a member of his channel back in January of last year and never heard anything back. Well, last week I wrote again, and what they call them is a TPO session. I wrote again and I got a response. So as soon as they're able to get their scheduling straight, I will be having a TPO session here. And I want to make this blanket so that I can give it to Dalen as opposed to having to mail it to them. I just think it'll be a lot more special. So I'm working on it. Of course, if I'm not finished with it, then I'm going to have to mail it to them. I won't even show him. Okay, so I want to ask you guys something. And this can also go along with developing good habits. What is the one thing that you misplace the most? And I'm pretty sure it's a lot of things. I know with me, it's a lot of things. I can name probably 10 things right off the bat, like the current notebook I'm working in, the current graph book I'm working in, my week only um, dry erase board, um, ink pens, colored pencils, crochet hook, telephone, remote control. Did I say the remote control already? If I did, I think that's what I lose the most. Um, my packing bags, stamps. Y'all, I try to keep stamps, so when I tell you I can never find one, when I need one, I be so flustered. Yes, yes. But um, what I've decided to do is make a bed hanging that is going to go across my bed and under my pillows so that I can put my remote control right there on the front side of my bed, and I can stop getting up in the middle of the night having imprints on my body because I fell asleep on the remote. Also, I put my phone up here in my ring light, whether the ring light is on or off. That keeps my hands off the phone, and it keeps the phone where I can easily find it. The only problem with that is that I have a case, and in my case is a key. Open case, key. We know what happens a lot of times. The key is MIA. But yeah, that's where developing good habits come in. We have been here for 47 minutes. I'm going to run over everything about the bingo one more time so that we got this. 52 cards, $5 a card. Reach me by Cash App, which if you go to my description, it'll show you, but I'm going to post all of this in my posts before the end of the day. Each card has 16 spaces. Each space has a task that must be completed. If you complete a project that covers more than one task, you can select up to 3 tasks for that project. If that project covers, and it's not, well, it is possible if you have more colors, but say it covers 8 items on your card, you can only select 3 of those items for the one project. You can either receive your card by email or by snail mail. Either one is fine. Just let me know. You have to reach out to me so that you can confirm the receipt of your card. Payment is going to be made, like I said, either through Cash App or PayPal. I will restate the price, which is $5 a card. The cards will remain on sale until they are sold out or June 15th, depending on which comes first. This is Blackout Bingo. So everything on your card must be filled out. There is one item on every card that has to be filled, and that is subscribe to one channel. And like I said, if you follow my video star of the week, lots of times there is your subscription right there. You can subscribe to them. All tasks on the card must be completed by July 15th, midnight Eastern Standard Time. Once you complete your items, your card, take a picture of your items and post them on my Facebook page, which is Create and Relate, which is CREATENRELATE. Create and Relate. If and I also would like for you to email me those in case something wonky goes on with Facebook. Like we know with all of these streaming channels, sometimes they decide that they got the BGs and they are off in the bathroom somewhere or something and not around when we need them. Okay. Once your completed card is verified, your name will go into the drawing box. Now, this is the only thing I'm changing. If I learn how to pick the winner picker and all that good stuff, if I learn how to operate that by July 17th, then that is how I will choose my winner. But if not, I'm going the old fashioned way. One of my grandchildren will be holding the box and shaking it up, and my other grandchild will be picking the 1 to 3 winners out. The drawing, like I said, will be held July 17th around 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any problems with anything up until then, don't understand what the task is, please email me. If you have my phone number, please call me or text me. Good luck and have fun. I have enjoyed this session with you all. You all are phenomenal. As always, I'm going to go ahead on and cut out and let you enjoy the rest of your day. As you can see, it's kind of gloomy over here, but it's still a beautiful day because we're here. How many of you remember Pippi Longstocking? My name is Pippi Longstocking. If you say it fast, it's funny. Pippi, Pippi Longstocking. How I love my funny name. Little girl with red pigtails that stuck out like that. You know, she was always getting into trouble. And she had freckles. I was born redhead. I was real redhead and real pale. No pigmentation whatsoever. Real slew-footed. Yes, there is one more thing I want to let you all know about. It's not starting right now. It'll probably be closer to the end of the summer. I do have a second page. Those of you who like, enjoy, or want to hear my poetry, that is what my second page will be. So I will invite you more the closer we get to it. I want y'all to come on over and hear my poetry. You've heard some of it here, but the realness will be over there. I love you guys. Don't forget to be bold, be brave, be beautiful, and behave. Remember, Kitty told you. Remember, I love you from the depths of my soul. And until we see each other again on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.